The other two are the 27th.
Gotcha. And the red light means live, right? So, good evening, everyone. It is 5:59. I hope everybody's having a good day, and this is our evening chat with evening chat. It's our evening session for chat with the chief. It's just an opportunity for me to talk to individuals who might be interested in things going on here in your police department. I usually like to talk a little bit about crime data, kind of where we're at with the department, some of the things that are upcoming, some things we've been doing, and then really it's just about having interaction with you all. So the first question I have, or my first ask, is, and I see Ms. Cox on. Carrie, how are you doing? My first ask is the video feed looking okay, and is it sound coming through okay? I have Matt back here with me, so if it's wrong, it's got to be his fault because I'm not allowed to touch anything. But he was with me this afternoon, so Carrie or anybody else, if you could just tell me, is the visual coming through okay, and is the sound doing okay? So yeah, we had a really good session. I felt like this afternoon, and here we are again. It was a busy day for me, back to back to back, but it was a good day. It was a good day. Oh, here we go. Good evening, Chief. Can hear and see you very clearly. Miss Neal, thank you. Carrie, thank you. I appreciate that. So I hate repeating myself, but there was just some things. Rhea, how are you doing? Now it's good. You're out of school now. It's good. Just make sure you ain't skipping school, getting me in trouble. I tell you, man, I had a busy day today, but it was the best part. I started at Yates Elementary, and I got to visit. They're having a career day, right? And so I saw some of the different organizations that were presenting, and man, I got to interact with some kids at school. Spent a little bit of time at kindergarten and first grade. Don't want to be on the same level as me, right? But really had a good time. The kids, like when you ask questions, or they'll, like, does anybody have a question? And you get like a story, right? So when we were on vacation last year, I saw, but I will tell you what, it was just the best part. It was just who's the last one? Help me with that. Akela, it's good to have you here. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate you being here. So let me just stop here for a minute. People are writing like, Chief, where's your glasses? The light is bright. So anyway, that's my side. That's my story. So I'm with these kids today, man. They're asking questions. They're just they're telling me what they like to do. They're ready for summer break. It was just a good day. The fire department had to come and show me up a little bit. They brought their fire truck and all the, but it's all right. I got to be in the classroom. They were outside. So, no, I did not get it. So, Anna, only 2 minutes early, you're getting it. You sound and look good. Only will watch for a while going to church. That's good. Faith is important. But yeah, I did start. I was on time. It was good. Had a couple meetings, but I was right back in here. So no, I didn't get interact with young adult police commissioners today. I had meetings, and then I believe when they came here, they went up to. I think they had a photography session today, if I'm not mistaken, and we're going out to Huntington Beach area and take some photographs and do some photography stuff. So I did not get to see them today. Mark, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you being here. I enjoy them too. The chats are great. So we did one this afternoon. I try to do one each month, 12 o'clock and 12 in the afternoon, 6 in the evening. Life's busy and things happen, but if you got some time, you can play it back, freeze it, fix dinner, listen to it, help you sleep, whatever. But no, I do. It's just another way of interacting, right? Trying to be open and transparent. So again, look. So I finished up at the school and came back and had some meetings. I'm lucky enough, blessed. I got asked to serve on a board. So this board reviews the submissions for individuals who lost their life in public safety, and it is for the memorial wall that's at our state. So in Richmond, down around that, as you're moving downtown, right around by the governor's mansion, there's a memorial wall for individuals across the state who are given their life in the line of duty, and so we read the submissions and then we vote. So we had a nice meeting today, and from there, I got to go down and I had an open forum today where I met with a bunch of officers from across the department. Just had some discussion, fielded some questions. We did some one-on-one meetings, reviewed some videos, of course, signed off on a bunch of paperwork. It was a long day, but it's been a good day, and I get to end here talking with you all. So, a couple of things. Let's get out of the way first. I just want to give you some updates on too low FPS. Is that anything, Matt? Action needed? Okay. So, a couple of things. We just graduated an academy class a couple of weeks ago. We have a class of 18 that will graduate 1st of July. We have another class that just started in April. We have 15 recruits in that class. I just got to go and meet them the other day and have some conversation. Really, really enjoyed that. The first class that will graduate in July, we're doing traffic, practicing directing traffic. And the next class had just been there 2 or 3 days. So I really enjoy spending time with them. Last week, I went to every high school in our city. I took a diverse group, not only in race, but also in assignment, right? So I had Kelly Wells, forensic technician, I think one of the best in the state. Blood, fingerprints, photographs, measurements, right? I had someone from Special Victims, Detective Farnberger. Who else was with me? Detective Campbell. They talked about crimes against children, stuff they have to deal with on the internet, homicide cases, aggravated assault cases. I had Sergeant Millett who talked about recruiting chief hires, filled in a couple times and talked about recruiting, what kind of officers we want into our department. He also talked about training. And then the SROs of each school. So I really appreciate that. I really had a blast. All the schools did really, really well. Kids had really good questions. And then yesterday I got, so the STARS program is put on with Shannon Jones. And I walked in and it's kids that are doing a trial. They're kids from Achievable Dream. And they're going through they're lawyers, right? Prosecution and defense. And if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 cases. And for some reason, I got wrapped up in playing a role last year. So we'll keep in suspense a little bit about that, how that's going to play out this year. But the trial is actually next week. So I was really blown away with there were judges and Commonwealth attorneys and defense attorneys. And Judge Flythe, man, she was hard on me. She was helping the student with cross-examination, and she was like, "This is how you cut him off." And I was like, "Wow!" I was learning some stuff, but it was just a good setting. I really, really enjoyed it. For me, if you know anything about me, I have a passion for youth, and the way that the kids are a future, man, and I really, really enjoyed that. So anyway, STARS program went to schools. It was really great, and it was a long. I had to get up, Matt. I had to get up at like 5:30 to be at the schools by 8 o'clock. I mean, I don't remember starting high school that early. I'm like, man, that's just crazy. But it was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it and just interacting. And the young adult police commissioners, they helped, right? So they facilitated the questions and would move the microphone around. And so anyway, it was really good. Linda, Linda, good evening. Robin, good evening, Chief Drew. Thank you for having the live sessions and golf carts. Are golf carts legal on streets? So no, we should not be driving a golf cart on a street. I've heard of some of that going on in some neighborhoods. So if you see that, if you let us know like time frame and location, because right when the police car comes, whoever does it, right? But if you let me know. Now if somebody's backing out of a driveway and turning around and back in, but it shouldn't be driving up and down a street, for safety reasons, right? For safety reasons. There's no seat belts and all. Anyways, for safety reasons. But no, they are not, Robin. And thank you for being here this evening. Miss Jones, Judge Flythe crossed the heck out of you. Thank you, Chief. So first off, Miss Jones, I was there as a potential role player. And so I work with a prosecuting and defense attorney, both students. And Judge Flythe came over and was offering, which excellent judge, she is a very big supporter of the Young Adult Police Commissioner program and the STARS program, and she was helping out with cross-examination. And so I was getting into my character, right? I'll keep secret what that character is, but I was getting into my character, and she was Judge Fleiss was working with a defense attorney about how to, I don't know the right word, uh, what's the right word, Matt? The nice way to shut me up, basically, right? So she's talking like, I don't need that answer. I didn't ask you to. Well, let me tell you, that's all the questions I have for you. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was getting into it, but it was great. We were at Achievable Dream, great group of kids. I got to see and do a little bit in the program last year, and yeah, there's some surprises this year. So that's a great program. I really look forward to seeing the trial, and I got to see Judge Papil and hanging out with him a little bit. And man, it was just really good. So yeah, she did cross examine me. Shannon, you have to admit she was a little hard on me. I mean, she was like, let me just tell you how to. Yeah. So anyway, the youth, Rhea, I appreciate that. You know, in this job for me, I was talking to the kids today. You know, the best part is that you meet new people every day, and no day is the same. But for me, man, I just really enjoy the youth. You know, all of us had people help us out along the way. For me, it was, you know, baseball coaches, youth pastors, uh, individual down the street, right? Does your mom know what you're doing? So, so to give back, I think is important, and I think that's one of the things we try to do here in our police department. Is that's why it's so important for us to engage with the community and really bond with the youth, interact with the youth. Some of the high school students were like, "Why do you do this?" And I'm like, "To break down barriers. So the first time you meet me as the chief, I don't want it to be on some critical incident. That we know each other. You see me at a football game or a baseball game, whatever, whatever. I went to a middle school play a couple weeks ago. Loved it. Um, yeah, I just think that's important. Matter of fact, now you know what I'm doing tomorrow at 4 o'clock? Cleared my calendar. I'm going to Denby High School and watch Denby baseball game. I'm excited about that. And why am I? Here's the invite I got. Saturday, I woke up and day off, right? I'm not sure what that is. I woke up Saturday and I got invited to opening day at Denby Youth Baseball League. So I get there early. I got to interact with the kids. It was like, you ever see like the movie The Bad News Bears, right? The opening day. So that's exactly what it was. Kids running everywhere. I forgot my hat. I don't know where my glove is. Try this one. It doesn't fit my hand. Put it on the wrong hand. It was a blast, right? We're taking pictures. And then the mayor and I, we walk out. They had opening ceremonies. All the teams were lined up. Honor guard. It was just, man, it was great. The mayor threw out the first pitch. It was like a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Boom! Caught the outside corner of the plate. It was great. We got baseball hats, jerseys. Took some photographs. It was just a good day. From there, I was driving to the bike race. If anybody saw, we had the bike races here Friday and Saturday in downtown Newport News. And so I'm going down there, and what do I see on the way? Baseball game at Deer Park, right? So I pulled over. I got out, watched a couple innings of baseball. I really enjoyed that. Just interacting with the kids, got to wave to some, and you got to love it when a kid hits the ball and runs to third base instead of first base. And you're like, wait a minute, it's just great. So yeah, I even had a young man. He was eating something. So if you're a baseball fan, you know baseball players eat a lot of sunflower seeds. So he's got the sunflower seeds. He looked at me and he offered me. So I got a handful of sunflower seeds as well. It was just a good event. I left there and went down to the bike race. I got to see some Friday night, the speed trials, and then Saturday, of course, was the full course. I really had a good time. Saw officers interacting with people. Got to talk to people from across the state and different parts of our country that came in for the bike race. Didn't realize how expensive those bicycles were and just the travel. So anyway, it was a great weekend, good event, and then back starting out this week. So just kind of sharing with you a couple things before I get in. Recognize the other individuals on board. If anybody saw the mayor's State of the City address, one of the things he asked was, like to see a concerted effort for the city, not just police department, for the city, 15% reduction in shootings and homicides, gun violence. I will tell you this time last year we had 10 homicides. Good Lord has blessed us. Strategies, police hard work, entities coming together, schools, police, fire, all these different entities, outreach, grassroots organization, Devon, Adrian, Troy Ketchmore Kids, just great organizations, right? Today we have 3 homicides compared to 10 the same time last year. Last year we had about 24 shootings. We have 11 or 12 this time this year. Now, I'm not celebrating jumping up and down because remember, one, we're only 3-4 months into the year. I know we still got a long way to go, but I know where we were at this time last year. But I also know that every one of those numbers is an individual. It's a person. It's a family member. It's a victim. So when I talk about numbers, I look at it and see our strategies to equate to those numbers. Are we seeing a drop? Or are we seeing it stagnant or increase where we got to change some strategies or increase them? But I also know clearly, I see it how it affects our community, our neighborhood, our officers that respond, the detectives who work those cases. Those are individuals. Those are people, families, neighborhoods, communities. But I agree with the mayor in that wanting to drive down violent crime, especially gun violence. And I'll tell you, churches and individuals will stop me. Chief, we're praying for the youth, praying for the city, praying for the department. I think that also, I'm a big man of faith, and I believe, so anyway, we've been blessed. We got off to a very good start. Officers are working very hard. I see it every day, and it just, yeah. So just want to give you kind of crime. Violent crime is down about 14%. South Precinct is probably leading the way with the biggest reductions this year. Had a hard year last year, so they're really, I think a lot of things we put in place the last quarter of the year, the last 3 months, have carried over into this year. So, but we're already planning now, started last month, really planning about some things we're going to do coming up this summer. So, all right, so Matt, let's catch up a little bit. Where did I leave off at? I got some people skipping school. Yep, there. All right, Joy. Golf carts often come down my street, Boxley, on the sidewalks at dusk. I thought I said it at dusk. Perhaps they are going to going to Dairy Queen. Well, I will tell you, Joy. I guess it could be. But yeah, if you guys see that, if you'll call and let us know, we can have an officer stop by and just, I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. Right? It's not a situation that we would be making an arrest and seizing. I think sometimes you just got to talk to people, like just be smart. But yeah, you don't want to have a golf cart driving down the street, going to Dairy Queen. Blizzards are excellent there, though, by the way. But it's just about safety. So, Brenda, it's awesome how involved you all are with the youth. It can make all the difference. Brenda, I'm telling you, that's another one. So that's 2 comments you've put on here this afternoon and today. I'm going to put up in my office, and it does make a difference. And you never know. Sometimes you may not know the impact today. It may be 5 years down the road of how you change somebody's life. I can tell you, was an officer here, and I remember when she graduated the academy, I asked her, I said, why did you want to be an officer? And she said, when I was in kindergarten, a female officer came and talked to our class, and ever since that day, it's all I ever wanted to do. And I was blown away. You remember that now, 20-some years later, that day at elementary school. So, yes, you're absolutely right, and I think youth are our future, and I want them involved in things that we're doing. This Young Adult Police Commissioner program, if you're not familiar with it, it is a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from every high school, and we meet every Wednesday, and they do crime scenes. We have conversations about diversity and equity. We do stuff at the food bank. We do community walks. Some of them have done interviews and press conferences with me. They help me with open forums. I have a meeting coming up, a town hall meeting with the NAACP, and a high school student is going to help moderate that. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I just think that's important. And if you look on our Facebook page, if you've never attended police recruit graduation here in Newport News, I would strongly suggest it. But one of the guest speakers, whether it's police graduation, award ceremony, memorial service, national night out, promotional ceremony, all of those things, we always have a high school student as a guest speaker. And I don't know if you'll see that anywhere else in the country. And we've been doing that for 5 years. But to have a high school student, right, that gets up and addresses new recruits and police officers that are in the crowd, the audience, I think that's powerful. So, Brenda, you got to come to one of our graduations. I got to get you to come see it, okay? Natalie, good evening. Thank you for being here. Wait, who did I miss? Oh, we got a couple here. Kayla, you should check out the Denby Festival tomorrow if you can from 2 to 4. So, yeah, hey, send me some information on it. I know I'm going to that baseball game at 4 o'clock. I'm not sure who they're playing, but I heard the team. I got to interact with Jared. I think he's one of the assistant coaches at Denby Little League, right? And or like I said, when I was there for opening day, and he was telling me about the game. One of our commissioners actually plays on the team, so I don't want to put his name out there, but he's a pitcher, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to come. So yeah, if you can send me some information, maybe I can go a little early and check out the festival. That'd be really cool. Miss Neal, have a wonderful rest of your live chat, spending time with youth and building relationships with them. Amazing and important, and I enjoyed my time with the young adult police commissioners. Thank you for your friend. So, Kayla, I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you. I appreciate you taking part in the program. You were then and are a blast to hang around. Just good conversation. You're down to earth. You have a huge heart, and I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for everything that you do. She still comes back and helps us with different things. So I really appreciate you. Okay, Deborah. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Hope all is well. Thanks for being here. Natalie, that it's good. Okay. Which one is it? Oh, okay. Mark, Chief, I'm thinking of the upcoming summer season. Can you scroll up just a little bit, Matthew? I'm thinking of the upcoming summer season. Last 4th of July fireworks being shot off were unnerving. I was worried about some of those rockets landing in my yard or on my roof. What can we do to let neighbors know about the potential dangers? Thanks. So I will tell you, Mark, wow, it's a great question. Before I came here, I was with another agency, police department, and one of the neighboring jurisdictions there, it's a story here in our city, they named a law, people were shooting fireworks up and gunshots, firing guns off, and it came down and struck a little boy and it took his life. So yeah, so fireworks, celebratory gunfire, both of those, well, gunfire, of course, illegal, shooting it off in the air, the dangers of that, and fireworks as well. What I'm going to try to do this year is do a little bit more with the fire department, to have them kind of cruise around, talk to people that they may see. Like, I get people want to have fun with sparklers, and I get it. But I also want people to be safe, and shooting those rockets off where they come down, I worry about someone getting hit, hurt, maybe a small fire starting. But I just think we'll start doing some messaging. We'll probably do some interviews on TV. We'll do some, everybody gets a lot of stuff through their phones and social media. So we'll try to get the message out that way. So do some alerts and teasers. But yeah, I'm with you. I get it. I worry more about the gunfire, to tell you the truth, at night, 4th of July, New Year's Eve. But you make a very, very good point, and we'll try to get the word out a little bit more. But I hope to do a little bit more with the fire department this year, have them out driving around in the community as well. We got Mark. Okay, good. Deborah, I have a question about patrol at Denby. I have a question about patrol at Denby High. Yeah, go right ahead. What's the question? Don't skip school. I didn't skip school, Chief. I needed a mental health day, and that day was today. Hey, I know what you mean. I get it. You have to do what you have to do. I totally understand. The police need to be more in these schools. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, Alexander. The police needs to be more in the schools. Okay. Are you? So Alexander, we talked earlier today. Are you saying the police need to be more in these schools? Okay. So I enjoy interacting with youth. We do have an SRO at every high school and middle school. I don't have enough officers to be in the elementary schools. I wish we could. There's like 25 or 26 early learning. I think that's important. They just don't have it. When they do have time, they will visit them, but primarily we're in the middle and high schools. And Alexander, did she send me a number to reach out to her? Perfect. We're good? Perfect. Greg, can you please get some presence in the Oakland Industrial Park for those flying through there at 75 miles an hour? So, yeah, Greg, can you tell me when I send that to the precinct, let them do some radar enforcement and traffic enforcement? Can you send me like some times, days of the week? Is it like some people get frustrated and say, oh, it's all the time, every day, 20. But it would help me structure-wise. Hey, Chief, 5 to 8 in the evenings, or 8 to 9 in the mornings, and 3 to 4. But do you have some like specific times where you're seeing it, where we can help us maybe focus directly? But that's absolutely. I just some help that you could give me on what times that's happening, what times it's occurring. Deborah said keeps. Oh, Deborah. Oh, are you saying, are we freezing up, Matt? Or okay, we're good. Okay, it's okay. Akela, okay, how do I send it to you, Chief? So I'm going to try this. Tell me if I'm wrong, Matt. He's already laughing at me. So I was going to go with direct message, send message, direct message. Direct message. If you just send me a name and number, I can shoot you a call. We can have a conversation, or you can send me the information through direct message, and we can look at it either way. But you do that, I guess, through Facebook. So if you know how to do direct message, thumbs up, right? And if not, just call the police department and tell me you want to leave a message with the chief, or have the chief call you, or you'd like to talk to me, and I'll get back to you. But thank you for that. Timothy, it took place in Arizona. It's the Chauncey's Law. Timothy, what are you talking about? Took place in Arizona. Help me with that. Are you talking about the fireworks or gunfire? Is that what he's talking about? You think? Yeah. If that's what I was referring back to when I was up in Richmond, but we might be talking about something different. I'm just not sure. Where we go? Angela. All right. Here we go. I had the distinct privilege of riding with a South Precinct officer last Saturday. Like on a ride along, I'm assuming, right? This man is the utmost professional, fantastic teacher, extremely knowledgeable of policing of the Newport News Police Department. Very respectful to the ones he interacts with, gets things done in a timely manner, and is proactive in finding people who violated the law. One of the many things that he told me that sticks out in my mind about how he does his job is I treat sorry, it jumped on me, folks. Sorry about that. I treat officers the same way I want to be treated. If I were in their situation, I learned so much from him in 10 hours. We do work 10-hour shifts. I rode with him. Simply put, Officer Langford is amazing. Can't wait to schedule my next one with him in 6 months. So let me go. Who sent that to me? Was it Angela? Angela, let me tell you this. So first, the ride-along program is something we offer here. It gives people an insight. You can do the full 10-hour shift, or just have interaction, and you kind of get to see you get to see and hear the real deal. You're hearing the calls come through, unedited, what they are, going to those calls, and you get to see what it's kind of like in a shift of an officer. So let me tell you, but you highlighted an officer that I'm very familiar with. Officer Langford is one of the best officers I have in the department. I'm glad you had a good time and learned from him. But he is top notch. I can't say enough about him. I appreciate the work that he does. I have seen him, not just from his reports, body-worn camera footage that I've seen from him, but I've seen how he talks to people and treats people. I've seen him in high stressful situations, and I've seen him just stop and talk to a high school kid. So I could not agree with you more. I think that ride-along program is important. I think it's beneficial. You kind of get to see things that officers deal with and how we respond to calls. So I'm glad you did it. I think Matt's putting some comment out there for everyone. But, man, I just really, and I'll tell you this, Angela, we don't do this job to get rich. We don't really do it for awards and medals. We do it for things like that. That post that you just put in, that you took the time to write, means the world to people. And I'm telling you, that stuff matters. So thank you so very much. Justin. Hey there, to the best sheriff in the Commonwealth. All our citizens in Matthew County love your ways you run your department. Our newly sheriff is great, but I would help to adopt some of our police. So Justin, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. I will tell you, all the credit goes to the men and women who do this job. I was teasing one officer today about her daughter that I got to meet today. I just had a blast. She had me laughing so hard, and she was just having their daughter was just having a conversation with me. So I'm telling you, from I get to see what these men and women see, what they deal with, things that they have to respond to. This job's hard. It is hard, and in the snow and the rain, the cold weather, the hot summer, the things you see, respond to, the things that you miss because you're in court or you have to work over, come in on a day off, have to staff a marathon. Though there are those who get it, and there are those. Oh, I didn't really know that's what police did. Nobody goes home at 5 o'clock. It's 24 hours a day. If you dial 911 at 2 in the morning, you're getting a police officer to respond. Or if you dial at 2 in the afternoon, but it's the men and women that do this job that deserve all the credit. I am thankful and blessed that I get to work with such great people in such a great city. Yeah, so I appreciate that. I hope things are going well out there where you're at. Was it Matthews where he said he was at? But I hope things are going well. I'm sure the new sheriff will do great. So I appreciate that. The firing of guns in the air. Oh, okay, Tim. Yeah, so there was also a death that happened in Chesterfield County several years ago, and I had worked up in Richmond. So yeah, that's celebratory gunfire. That really concerns me. We saw a great decrease the last 2 or 3 years here because we track the calls that come in, and I get some citizens don't call, but at least the calls that came in, we saw a really big drop. And so I kind of talked with the other chiefs, and we all tried to put a message out about that 4th of July and New Year's Eve. But yeah, it's great. I appreciate that. I sent a direct message. Have a good night, Chief. Thank you for everything. Absolutely, thank you for sending that, and we'll definitely get together and touch and talk a little bit. That'd be great. Linda, I know you're from Cincinnati. Oh my. I know you're from Cincinnati. How did you end up in Newport News? So, Linda, I don't know how you know us from Cincinnati. That is true. So I grew up in Cincinnati. I went to college, and of course I wanted to play professional baseball. Didn't work out. But while I was in college, I started applying to departments, and I applied to Richmond, Virginia. And as we talked to others, I think even with the conversation about Officer Langford and the ride-along, just how you talk to people and relate to people, how you make them feel. So Richmond, man, they call me like every week. Steve, we want you to join our department when you graduate. When is your graduation date? We want to send you some information. We want to send you some stuff about the department. Hey, we're recruiters, right? We're just calling to check on you, make sure we're still in line. We want you to come here. Richmond made me feel like they wanted me. So it was an easy decision for me. I actually got hired by 2 departments on the same day, Charlotte, North Carolina, and they were really, really growing. They were building the football stadium there, and the Hornets were there. But Richmond called, and I chose Richmond. And I'm not sure how my mom felt about that. When I found out she called the recruiter, I was like, what? What did you do? So, but that's how I got to Virginia. And then I worked for a lot of different chiefs in Richmond. And there was a job opening in Newport News for a chief of police. And so the chief in Richmond called and said, hey, I'd like you to take a look. A former chief in Richmond called and said, I'd like you to take a look at Newport News. And I said, well, it's an hour and 15 minutes. So I drove down a couple weekends, and just everybody had a dog. Everybody was walking around the fountain. Everybody seemed really, really friendly. So I applied. I didn't think I really had much of a shot. And I told my former chief that. And he said, listen, at least you're going through a process. And when you do, if you ever want to leave Richmond, you'll have some experience. So I went through the process, and I met the city manager at the time, is Cindy Roth. Great. I met Assistant City Manager Alan Archer, who's our city manager now. I really connected with them. There were several people on the panel with the different things we had to do that now I know, right? So when I still tease Pastor Swan about, I couldn't tell if you liked me or not when I was going through the interview process, and former chiefs that were, but yeah, that's how I got here. They called and offered me the job. And, I think God has a plan and has things worked out and way ahead of time. And man, it was a blessing. So I finished my 25 years in Richmond and the chief here in Newport News. And July 4th weekend will be 6 years for me. So yeah, very, very blessed, very, very humbled. It is an honor to work with such great people, and I would always tell Ms. Roth at the graduation ceremonies, thank you for allowing me to be the chief in this city. And I shouldn't just say the city managers and Mr. Archer and the staff that we have here, but also the mayor, Mayor Price, now Mayor Jones, City Council. I will tell you, it's not like that everywhere. But our city council, our city managers really support the police department. Now, they ask hard questions, right? And myself and the mayor talk a lot. Myself and Mr. Archer talk a lot. But they are really vested with this department. Chief, do you have everything you need? We'd like you to take care of this. We're like, hey, what are we doing here? How's this plan? How are we looking for this event? Do we have enough officers? So they get it. But it is really refreshing, and it's a blessing to work with such great people. And Mayor Jones, you know, nobody likes to call Mayor and give him bad news at 2 in the morning, but he's like, Chief, call me. When you need me, call me. The same with our city manager, Mr. Archer. He's like, let me know what's going on. Let's have conversations. What do you need? Hey, I can't do that, but I can do this. So I really enjoy that relationship. City council members, they interact with our officers here. We tease one another and have a good time. But when it's time for business, it's business. So yeah, that's how that long story is how I got here to Newport News. And I'm the one that's blessed. Joy, we are more than grateful that Joy. I'll tell you, like I said, I'm the one that's blessed, and I appreciate that. How did you come up with Weiss PC? Did Richmond have the same program? So Ria, yes, they did. So I did learn it. I stole it from Richmond. I don't know if they still do it. They had taken it. There was a chief that had come down from Connecticut, and Chief Brian Norwood, and he had learned it from another chief. And Chief Norwood really talked to me a lot about how important youth are and engagement. So saw what Richmond did. I worked with that program when I was there, and I wanted to bring it here, and we tweaked some things. And I got to give a lot of credit to Monica White and Lieutenant Morgan, Sergeant Morgan at the time, then Lieutenant Morgan, and now Lieutenant Allen, Captain Funiak. But you know, they're like, Chief, it's a great concept, but we got to tweak it. And they have morphed it and built it in. You know, we were supposed to have four high school students from each school. 6 high schools, 6 times 4 is 24. This year we started out with like 40 some kids. I don't know where the other ones came from, Matt. We only got room to it. I don't know where the other ones came from. But we didn't turn anybody away. And as we get towards the end of the year, my commitment is to be at every high school graduation. For seniors, to write letters and make phone calls to get them into either the military or any profession, trade school, or college that they want to go to. And third is that we have our gala at the end of the year where we're able to celebrate a little bit. We get dressed up, give some awards away, have a nice meal together. But man, I really, really enjoy, and it's really nice to see when you see those students out and how they interact with officers and they know each other, they tease each other a little bit. So I really, but that's how it came to play. Keith, the men and women of NPD is as great as they are without carrying supportive leadership. Well, I'll tell you. Let's say this, Keith. I think it does start at the top, and I think that the chiefs have to cultivate a culture, atmosphere. That's why you want the direction to go. But the men and women here deserve all the credit, man. I see them put in extra hours. I'm sure, Keith, you see the same thing. You know, we see some stuff that they do. What people don't see is the bills that officers pay, the times they pick up kids, take them to a location, mentorship, sitting on being at a ball game or a football game, basketball game, and sitting in the bleachers and talking to a student after a game or one of the athletes, buying groceries for people who are going through a challenging time, going to school and putting an arm around somebody and having a conversation instead of making an arrest. Used to call giving people breaks. You know, I think it's just being human. And we need to make sure that we're doing the human side of this job too. People don't usually call us. When they're down 911, it's not like, would you mind stopping by a birthday party? Although I have had that happen. Most of the time they call us, people are going through a hard time in their life. Traffic accident, injury, critical incident. God forbid, a death. So like Officer Langford and the write-up that you just read about him, that's on this post, treating people how you want to be treated and helping people. I think that's why most officers do this profession. We're not perfect. We don't get it right all the time. We make mistakes. These badges and these patches don't make us better than anybody else. But it does show a heart for service. And most officers get into this profession for the ability to help other people. And I am just thankful to work with such great people. I'm humbled, and I've been very, very, very blessed. So thank you for that. Justin, is there any time, is there any intern programs or academics for my 17-year-old daughter that intends to pursue a career in law enforcement? Not much here in Matthews. So you live in Matthews. Yeah, so I don't know. I could look at some things in that area. I know if you were here, we do have that young adult police commissioner program, and that's just like a Citizens Academy all year long. You get to interact with officers, detectives, forensics, dispatchers, every aspect of the job. You get to see a part of it. I don't know about Matthews County. I can look around and see. I'm trying to think of any program. I don't know if you have any family here. We do have 3 summer camps coming up this year. One deals with drones. One deals with the other 2 really deal with leadership. But Monica White does a great job with youth. They drive her crazy, but she loves it. She's not full of me. She loves it, and she does. She just got a big award from Sister to Sister a couple weeks ago, so I got to go and see that. We got to spend a little bit of time together. It was a lot. Anyway. She got a great award for what she does with outreach, and it's great. But I'll see if I know of anything in that area. Richard, K-9 Officer Jefferson needs to be promoted. He needs to be promoted. I just saw him today. I was giving him a hard time. Now you want me to promote him? Oh my gosh! I tease him about every time I see him, and I do it so often, right? That I just kind of look at him and he starts laughing and walks away from me. I don't know. So maybe he's laughing at something else, but no, he's a good guy. I tease him a lot. There's a sergeant in the narcotics division, and when we talk about K-9 and Officer Jefferson, I usually look back at that sergeant. He just kind of shakes his head, so it's a good joke. But no, he does a good job. He's got a good heart. But yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out why he always laughs and walks the other direction when I see him. I don't know. But I'll pass that along. Sir. I appreciate that. Joy, happy 6-year anniversary. Independence Week. Yep. So that's right. Yeah, July 4th. So when the fireworks go off, it kind of means 2 things for me: fireworks, independence, but also that is the anniversary here. So thank you, Linda. Lucky for me, Linda. But I appreciate that. You have had someone call 911 to a birthday party. Did you go? So yes, I did. There's been a call about could the chief stop by for my son's birthday, and it's like, well, man. But you know what? I did. I got a piece of birthday cake. Excellent. And it was a good event. So yeah, someone called 911 a couple years ago and asked me. And anyway, yes. Wait, scroll down. I'm going to just read that. I'm going to click the link. Oh, I got you. Natalie, a couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of cars and young people at the shopping center parking lot at Warwick where smoked barbecue. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Your officers did come, but we had several of the cars come into Warwick Village and park. Officers drove through but didn't know where they were. We didn't have an outlet. It's one way in and one way out. Wish officers would have blocked the entrance, although our safety is important as residents. So are we talking about like a car club type thing or a gathering? Yeah, so I get it. If that's what we're talking about, I do got to make sure we're very, very careful when we respond to some of the car events that draw. Usually they disperse pretty quickly when officers respond because they know we will seize their cars or tow their cars if they're speeding or doing donuts or whatever. So I'm not sure exactly what if it was kids or young people, if it was a car show or some of the souped up cars that were there. So I'm not exactly sure what the incident was, but yeah, safety is important, and you get that, and I see it there. But I duly noted. I got you. Scrolling down, there's Matt. So he's responding. Yep. I think Officer Morrison. Oh my gosh, makes a really big impact at Denby High School. Well, I'll tell you, okay, let me tell you this on Officer Morrison. He had some big shoes to fill. Officer Watkins was SRO there, did a great job. But I will tell you what, school officials and the interview process picked the right person to replace him. Morrison, Officer Morrison, SRO Morrison does a phenomenal job. I saw that with the interaction when we did the panel discussion at Denby High School. The number of kids came out and the number of kids that talked to him. And man, he had a great story too. He talked a little bit about his background and why he wanted to join law enforcement. He just does great work. And I could not be more impressed. But not just the relationships he's built. He's very quick to disrupt beefs that go on, if you will, or confrontations. He has prevented a lot of things at that school. Just does a great job. And when you talk about Denby, I got 2 invites this year. I attended the JR Junior ROTC banquet or ball. It was a guest speaker at Denby. I was honored, and man, those guys and gals were sharp. They were locked on. And then when I went to, after I left there, I went over and caught the second half of Mitchville. The Mitchville group was already on the dance floor. I missed a little bit of the ceremony, but I got to see a very, very special friend who's recovering from some medical issues. I got to see her. Oh, man, got me choked up just to see her, but she was doing great. And so yeah, I had a good time at both schools. I think our high schools are great. The kids that go there are great. Look, there's challenges every school, but I think we got some of the most talented students. We just got some state champs here, excel in wrestling and basketball. You'll see me every Friday at the football games, and just about every Saturday afternoon when they play. And I have not got to catch any of the middle school games yet. I went to one, and it got delayed. I had another event, so I didn't, but I want to be there. I'd like to see some of that. Basketball games, like I said, I'm going to a baseball game at Denby on Thursday. So, yeah. Let's see where we at. Green as well. We're going to go through each one now. Yep, Green did a great job too at Heritage High School. Very informative, and they know him well there. He's very good at building relationships. Is that everybody? Have I caught up everything, Matt? I haven't missed anybody. So far, so good. We still got a little bit. That's what. There's Justin said. Wait a minute. Wait, scroll up one more, Matt. What's one before Justin? There you go. Once again, thank you for the communication with us. I'll reach out to Sheriff Edwards here in Matthews and see if we can do the same to get input. Yeah, Justin, that's great. And anything I can do. I will tell you, we learn a lot from each other. So I'll send officers to other departments, sheriff and police. What are they doing? What's working? Bring it back. So if it's something that Matthews would want to come up and see, it does take manpower. It takes commitment and resources. But I just think it's important. So anything I can do to help, I'd be glad to. Does Newport News have any senior defense classes? So I will tell you, Robin, I was at Denby Community Center. There were some seniors doing some type of, I'm going to get jiu-jitsu or some type of karate going on. And I went in to tease them a little bit, right? I was in uniform, like, what's going on in here? And they said, well, why don't you come in and we'll show you? And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I backed up. But I know the community centers have, I've seen them at Denby and Midtown. They have some defensive tactics type thing the city puts on, right? City puts on, or recreational, but there are instructors there. Once again, Alex, we got that. So a couple of things I wanted to share with you. Our police memorial service is coming up. We'll be at Calvary Chapel in Newport News, the northern end up on Warwick. Warwick, right? Yeah. Great Pastor Tony, just a great pastor, a great church. So we'll be up there with our memorial service. That's on May the 16th. It's 10 a.m. in the morning as we recognize and remember those men and women in the police department who made the ultimate sacrifice. Our last was Officer Thine that gave her life That service is May 16th at 10 o'clock at Calvary Chapel in Newport News on Warwick. All right? Let's talk about the DEA drug take back. We partner there with the police department, and we'll be at Centera Port Warwick, one location, and Riverside Medical Office Building, second location, from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I gotta make sure I get these Saturdays right. DEA drug take back. So if you have old prescription drugs that are expired, you don't want them falling into the wrong hands, kids getting a hold of them, throw them in the trash, people take them out of the trash, whatever. If you like to dispose of them, you can bring them to Centera at Port Warwick, or you can bring them to Riverside Medical Office Building from the hours from 10 in the morning till 2. There'll be nurses and DEA agents and officers out there. It's a partnership, but it's just about getting rid of prescription drugs, that type thing. And that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Then we have bin etching. So one of the things we saw some spikes in was people stealing catalytic converters. And Detective Trong and others came up with it, Detective Lee, came up with how do we prevent that? So we've gone to etching bin numbers into the catalytic converter. And every jurisdiction will spray paint it, and they have their own color. So whether it's red, blue, yellow. So what happens is if I steal a catalytic converter off a car and I take it and trade it in for money, people won't accept it if it's got a bin number and spray paint. So what that does, it allows us to take a picture of that individual who leaves, and it gives us an investigation way. Or if you get under a car and you start to saw through it, oh, they got a VIN number, forget it, I can't, and go to another car. So we've been doing it for a couple years now. It's become very, very popular. So the reason I bring that up is at the Korean Baptist Church on April 27th from 8 in the morning till 5, and it takes about 15 minutes. From 8 in the morning till 5 on Harpersville Road, so Korean Baptist Church, Harpersville Road, from 8 to 5 on April 27th, there'll be VIN etching. Now, you can go online and sign up, or you can just show up, and we've had people come, and they're like, oh, wow, that's all it took. They'll go home and get another car and come back and do it and have the other car done. So it's a great time. There'll be officers out there. Anna Whalen and a lot of volunteers will be out there as well. It's just a really nice event, and it really does decrease and prevent theft of catalytic converters. And the last thing I wanted to share with you is a pancake breakfast. So that's this Saturday, the 20th. And that pancake breakfast is at Mitchville Baptist Church. And what's so important about the pancake breakfast, Chief? I am glad you asked. So from 8 in the morning till 12 in the afternoon, you can still eat pancakes at 12 noon. I will tell you, you can eat them just about any time of the day. But we are going to be having a pancake breakfast, and the thing about it is, it's a fundraiser, so they'll collect donations. They will go to the Boys and Girls Club, and here's the catch. Officers will be making the pancakes and serving them. So I will say this officer will be also testing them to make sure they taste well, right? Over and over and over again. But we'll be at Mitchville Baptist Church from 8 to 12. Come out, eat some pancakes, interact with some officers, tease them a little bit, have a good time. Maybe I'll get Officer Langford, Jefferson, and Morrison, and Green, all the officers I've heard about, have them come out and be the celebrity servers, if you will, right? But yeah, they'll be taking donations, have a breakfast with us. Everything we raise we're going to give to the Boys and Girls Club, and it's really just a fun event. It's just a fun event. So those are just some things I wanted to share with you. You still good, Matt? Have I hit everybody?
Yeah, we got some.
We'll be honoring Officer Poe, or it won't count since he wasn't on. Rhea, no, that's a good question. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. We'll have some conversations about that. You're talking about, so what Rhea's asking about is names on the wall, individuals that are killed in the line of duty. So you just kind of review those and go through them, but there is some criteria. So keep up the great work. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Thank you for spending a little bit of time. And with that, what is 53? I don't want to. Oh wait, here we go. Keith. Chief, could possibly email me. I have a question about the Hampton Chiefs of Police meeting. Saw your page. Wait a minute. Skipped a little bit. Saw your page recently. we can get me at, sure, I'll be glad to. You know, thanks for bringing that up, Keith. Last week, the chiefs across the state, not just here in Hampton Roads, I think we had about 60 police chiefs. They came here, we moved that meeting around, and the mayor came and actually welcomed them to our city, just gave some words of encouragement, talked about our relationship a little bit. And yeah, it was just a good meeting. We had broke some bread together, and we talked about, you know, what are some challenges? What are we facing in recruiting? What are we facing in retention? Bringing new officers in, making sure we keep the officers that we have here. We talked about some crime issues, scams that individuals are getting caught up in. We talked about technology and talked about training. And so it's just good for us to sit in a room together and have some conversation. I really enjoyed that. And that, like I said, that was here last week. So yeah, Keith, I'll certainly reach out to you, my friend. Do we have a speaker for the memorial service on the 16th? So I will tell you, there will be one. I have not talked to Lieutenant Allen as of yet. You know, we just did the graduation and had a guest speaker from the Young Adult Police Commissioner. So I will talk to her and find out. I know there were some of the students. I know some of you all wanted to. And I'm telling you, man, those kids talk at those meetings, those ceremonies, it is powerful. It is powerful. So yeah, I will certainly check. And I don't know who's scheduled or if she's picked someone yet, or if someone's volunteered to do it. But if it's something you would like to do, please let me know. She's talking about the baseball game. Scroll up 1 second for me. About Brock, yeah. Oh, that's his email. Got that. Okay. Joy, I love these chats, Chief. You care about our city and the people. Have a good rest of the evening and stay safe. Joy, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. The other, you know, see, I say things, Matt, and then people make fun of me, but that's all right. Coming up is the concerts in Port Warwick again. We're getting close to that as they go through the summer. Those are on Wednesday, and I really enjoy. We're getting ready to do some in the south as well. So I enjoy those, going to those concerts. Somebody found some footage a couple years ago. It was like 30 seconds. Somebody found some footage that Bobby Blackhat, who's a good friend of mine, was performing. He's an excellent performer, singer, entertainer, harmonica, and he asked me to come up and do a song with him. And I come up and stood there for a second. Then I got stuck up there, and I will say the word "stuck" up there. And so we did a song together, and so I think all that footage has been classified now, but I just share that with you. When you talk about caring about the city, sometimes you got to laugh at yourself too. But I do. I love this city, the people. I love the youth of this city. And I just think we're all blessed. And you give back a little bit, it makes all the difference in the world. Invest in other people. That's the best thing you can do. But it's a group effort. It's like a village, right? Whether it's Hal and Rob from the Boys and Girls Club, folks at our police foundation, and the great work that Megan does there, our president, Rob Coleman, pastors that I interact with and talk with, our Commonwealth attorney, Mr. Glenn. Had a couple conversations with him today, called and asked him for some advice today, and he stopped what he was doing and just talked to me. He just gave me some advice, and I appreciate that. That's important. Dr. Mitchell, the superintendent, Dr. Vreeland with Achievable Dreams and everything that she does in the community and youth. Like I said, the STARS program that Shannon Jones is doing, and the investment from other attorneys and judges. And I still forgot Judge Flight. I got to have a conversation with her. She was hard on me. But I tell you, it is. You're never going to get rich doing this job. Financially rich. I'll leave it at that. You'll get that later. But yeah, it's a great profession, and I appreciate the men and women who do it. They matter to me, from the most senior officer in this department to the individual who's getting ready to start the academy or graduate. You matter to me. You're not just a number here. You're valued. So, civilians as well. Oh, maybe the most important thing, Matt, I think you even had it at the top. This week we are celebrating a group of individuals that do not get enough recognition. A group of individuals who I think should be classified as first responders because they are the first person to take that phone call and hear what's going on the other end of that line. This is Telecommunicators Month, week, should be year, Telecommunicators Week. And Captain Tegens and Laura and Val do a great job training, putting it on. And let me tell you about dispatchers. They're some crazy people. They know how to have fun. They are also very hard workers and dedicated. But I'm going to go see them tomorrow and Friday. I'm not sure what all they'll have. They always have good food down there. People bringing in food and doing different things. But it's Telecommunicators Week, and I just want to say this to them. I know sometimes there's staffing issues. I know that some of those calls on the other end are horrific that you respond to. I believe that you all save lives. I believe that you make a difference in our city. I believe that things that you do is classified under first responders. You guys control situations. You interact with situations. And sometimes when we as officers are calling and trying to get some more information or talking to you on the radio, we can be a handful too. I want you to know I appreciate you. You all matter to me. The work that you do, you matter to me. So I look forward to seeing you. I know you've had a lot of visitors the last couple of days. I'm going to be down there tomorrow and Friday. I even had a couple councilmen call and say, hey, Chief, when are you going? We want to go down and talk to the dispatch. So I look forward to seeing you. But I just wanted to remind everyone it is that week. But it really, it's an all-year thing. I won't be baking any pies. I'm going to say that for Christmas and Thanksgiving. But I will be coming to see you and spend some time with you guys. So I look forward to seeing you. Did I miss anybody else, Matt? You're one of the best. I'm blessed to have met you. It goes both ways, my friend. Officer Thine. This is up. Yep, a friend now. Keep up. Great work. I appreciate Keith. That means a lot. I appreciate that, my friend. I look forward to seeing you, talking to you soon, okay? Brenda, youth is our first future. It starts there. I couldn't agree more. 911 dispatchers, the true first. See, Keith, you agree with me. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to all those who protect the victim. Yep, absolutely. Rhea, we also need to recognize the camera people. They keep you in place. I will tell Matt and Kelly, and soon to be our newest addition, that you appreciate that they don't let me touch anything electronic. That's just great. That's a great way to end on. So thank you all for spending some time with me. You made this a good evening for me, just to share a little bit about the department, things that we're doing, focusing on our youth, driving down crime, partnerships with all our other city and elected officials, organization management of our city manager, and so just thank you for letting me spend a little bit of time. We'll do this again next month. Please be safe. I hope to see you all at our memorial service on May the 16th. Again, that's at 10 a.m. They'll be doing memorial services that week all throughout the 7 cities. This department will send 2 representatives to each memorial service to recognize and remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice. So listen, please be safe. We're just around the corner of summer break. Be careful. There's going to be, as weather breaks, right, more and more kids outside playing. Please be careful driving. Be aware. And thank you all for everything that you do. God bless you. Appreciate you. And we'll do this again next month.